Smarty Pants, think about the last thing you ate. How long ago did you gobble it down?
Nom 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 nom.
5 minutes, half hour, over an hour ago? Whoa, you must be starving. Here's another question for you. When do you think you'll be seeing whatever it is you ate last again? In other words, how long does it take food to pass through you? And what's that journey like? Because whether it's a chicken nugget, a toaster strudel, or a grape, anything you eat takes a long and winding and strange trip through your digestive system, where it undergoes a series of amazing processes and intense changes. But what exactly happens inside you after you take a bite of something? To find out, I've recruited 2 experts. But it would be boring to just have them tell us the answers. Instead, they've agreed to shrink themselves down and enter my digestive system. Unfortunately, we couldn't afford a fancy inner spaceship for them to travel in, so instead, they're just going to hitch a ride on this Oreo cookie that I'm about to eat. Before we begin, I just need them to sign this waiver so they can't sue me in the unlikely event they get stuck inside my intestines or they're accidentally digested. Standard stuff. Just initial here, okay, here, and here. Perfect. Now, let's meet our experts, Dr. Martha and Dr. Ron.
Hello.
This is very exciting.
I'll say. Martha and Ron are both what is known as gastroenterologists, which means they specialize in studying and treating disorders of the digestive system. Hopefully, there's nothing wrong inside of me, and this is a nice, smooth ride.
Well, an apple might be smoother than an Oreo.
Yeah, but an Oreo's more delicious. All right, time to shrink you 2 down. Oh, and of course, it's also time for another whiff of science on
Who smarted? Who's smarted? Who's smart? Is it you? Is it me? Is it science or history? Listen up, everyone. We make smarting lots of fun on Who Smarted.
Before I gulp down this Dr. Topped Oreo, quick question. When does digestion first start? Is it A, after the first bite, B, upon swallowing, C, 15 minutes after eating, or D, before you've eaten? Got your answer? What do our shrunken experts say?
It might sound crazy, but digestion can actually start before you've taken your first bite of food. Just looking at or smelling something delicious is enough for your brain to signal your salivary glands to make your mouth water and for your stomach to secrete gastric juice.
Secrete means to produce or discharge, and gastric juice is a thin, clear fluid made by your stomach in order to help you digest foods. But we'll get to that later.
So you're saying that just by looking at this yummy Oreo cookie, I've already begun the digestion process?
Yes.
Crazy. So what's next?
Ingestion.
Ingestion means taking something into your body either through swallowing or absorbing.
Well, in that case... Come in, Dr. Martha, Dr. Ron. Can you hear me? Come in.
We hear you loud and clear, Narrator 1.
Phew, I was worried I might have chewed you up. Legally, I'd be covered for that, but still, so what's going on in there?
As you can hear, we're getting soaked right now.
It sounds like it. Can you hear that, Smarty Pants? Sounds like they're at a water park. But I didn't drink anything.
Nope, it's all happening in your mouth. Chewing is part of the digestive system. As you chew, you mix your food with a watery fluid called saliva produced by your salivary glands.
Saliva moistens and lubricates the food with the help of a slippery substance called mucin, which is now in my hair. This makes swallowing easier, as well as allowing the food to be tasted.
Oreo.
We're also being bathed by an enzyme in your saliva called amylase, which chemically digests the starch in your food. In the case of this Oreo, that would include the cornstarch.
Cornstarch.
Each mouthful takes about 30 to 60 seconds to process.
Wow, I didn't realize so much was happening chemically when I chewed my food. I thought I was just making it smaller so I could swallow it.
That's happening too. Right now, pieces of Oreo are being formed into a small ball called a bolus, which is being pushed to the back of your mouth by your tongue.
Huh, I didn't realize I was doing that.
Nope, it's all involuntary, which means your body does it without you having to tell it to, like blinking or breathing.
After that, more involuntary muscle contractions in your pharynx or throat push the bolus down towards your esophagus, what we call swallowing. This swallowing reflex takes about 1 to 3 seconds.
Here we go. It's like a roller coaster. Whee!
Guys? Hello? Talk to me.
We're here. We're traveling down your esophagus, which is about an 8-inch tube connecting your pharynx or throat to your stomach. It feels like we're spelunking into a cave.
This final stage of ingestion is called peristalsis. Right now, the bolus we're on is being moved along by the rhythmic contractions of muscles in the walls of your esophagus. For a medium-sized bolus, it takes about 5 to 8 seconds to reach your stomach. Yep, we squeeze through your lower esophageal sphincter. And now we're coming to you live from inside your stomach.
Wow, I've had my tummy talk to me before, but never like this. So, what's it like in there?
Think of your stomach as a big, muscular bag. It's dark and everything around us is moving. It's also pretty wet.
And it's about to get wetter.
Remember I mentioned gastric juices earlier? Well, here they come. Gastric juices are produced by the cells lining your stomach. Right now, thanks to these highly acidic fluids, the food in your stomach is undergoing both a physical and chemical change.
Whoa, what's all that noise?
Those are muscular contractions or movements taking place in your stomach wall. Everything's been mixed and churned into a thick, milky paste called chyme. The chyme is slowly released through a special opening known as the pyloric sphincter.
Another sphincter? But I thought...
Yes, some of you may have heard the word sphincter used to describe the opening of your butt or anus. But guess what? You have sphincters in your stomach as well. The pyloric sphincter regulates the flow of chyme, which is released every 20 seconds into your lower intestine. It takes about 2 to 6 hours to empty your stomach.
We're gonna be here a while. You might want to do a narrator trick to speed things up.
Good idea. Hey guys, play the fast-forwarding sound. Wow, those 6 hours really flew by. Where are you guys now?
Right now, we're working our way through your small intestine.
I gotta say, you guys really go the extra mile for science.
Well, not quite a mile, but the small intestine is the longest section of your digestive tract, measuring about 22 feet, or 7 meters on average, or 3.5 times the length of your body. Of course, it's all folded up to fit neatly inside you.
Most of the chemical digestion occurs within the first 3 feet of the small intestine.
Dr. Martha, are you laughing?
Sorry, it tickles.
What tickles?
There are millions of tiny finger-like structures called villi lining your small intestine. These structures greatly increase the amount of contact the chyme has with your small intestine, allowing the molecules and enzymes in here to break it down and more rapidly absorb the digestible parts into your bloodstream.
We're also being mixed with secretions from your pancreas and gallbladder. These fluids contain bicarbonate, aka baking soda, enzymes, and bile salts, essential to the digestion process.
For a small intestine, it sure does a lot of work.
We are nearing the end of it now. By this point, all the digested food products, along with the minerals and vitamins that are useful to your body, should have been removed from the watery contents.
And because you chose a cookie as opposed to an apple, it wasn't very much.
Hey, don't judge me.
This is also around the time you might start to feel...
I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling pretty full.
From one Oreo?
Well, I also had 2 slices of pizza and fries.
Besides digestion and absorption, the lower intestine also releases hormones that regulate feelings of fullness.
Yep, I'm stuffed. Sorry, where were we?
Right now, we're on the remaining undigested food, which is about to pass through a one-way muscular valve connecting your small intestine to your large intestine. Your large intestine is a thicker but much shorter tube that loops up and around your lower intestines.
It's here in the large intestine that the most shocking transformation in the entire process happens.
I can't wait to hear it. Right after this quick break. Now back to Who Smarted. At this moment, 2 gastroenterologists are traveling through my digestive system, and they've just reached the large intestine, where a major transformation is about to happen.
That's right. By this point, 5 to 12 hours have gone by, and all the nutrients in the food were absorbed by your small intestine. Now it's up to your large intestine to squeeze out any last useful items and get rid of the waste.
And how does it do that?
It turns the liquids back into a semi-solid form known as stool, or poop.
Poop, there it is.
That's where we are right now, waiting in your colon, which temporarily stores the stool until enough piles up, forcing us out of your rectum. We could be sitting here in the smelly dark anywhere from 4 to 72 hours.
Yikes, guys, fast forward, quick. Now I just need to reverse this shrink ray and... Welcome back, doctors.
Whew, how long were we in there?
24 hours. Lots of fast forwarding.
Full digestion from eating to pooping can take anywhere from 24 to 72 hours. A lot depends on the amount you eat and the types of foods ingested. Protein-rich foods and fatty foods like meat and fish can take longer to digest than high-fiber foods like fruits and veggies. Sweets like candy and cookies are among the fastest food digested because your body doesn't have much use for them.
I get it. Cookies are bad for you.
Oh, and fun fact, kids digest quicker than adults. Obviously, they have a shorter digestive tract.
Well, that might have been the craziest thing I've ever done.
Agreed. I spend a lot of time looking inside the human body, but never like that. I can't wait to tell everyone what we saw.
Ooh, me too.
Yeah, about that. The contract you signed had a non-disclosure form, so you can't talk to anyone about it. Sorry. Oreo? A big shout out to superfan Trenton in St. Albans, West Virginia. We're so happy you love listening to Who Smarted. This episode, Digestion, was written by Adam Tex Davis and voiced by Jenna Hoban, Taya Garland, and Jerry Colbert. Technical direction and sound design by Josh Hahn. Who Smarted is recorded and mixed at the Relic Room Studios. Our associate producer is Max Kamaski. The theme song is by Brian Suarez, with lyrics written and performed by Adam Tex Davis. Who Smarted was created and produced by Adam Tex Davis and Jerry Colbert. This is an Atomic Entertainment production.